Welcome to this episode of Hooked on Horses here at Pretty Pony Pastures. Today, we're going to look at different ways to stay safe while still enjoying our wonderful horses. You know, horses are big animals. And can you guess how much a horse weighs? Think about it. They are very big and very tall. So, on average, a horse weighs about 1,000 pounds. Now, I'm sure that nobody that's watching this program is close to 1,000 pounds. Most of us aren't even over 100 pounds. Well, some of us are. So we need to know how to stay safe when we are around them. Well, first, before we know how to stay safe, we have to understand how horses see and where they can see and how they move. So let's watch this video.
So the horse has eyes on both sides of her head. That means that she can see almost all the way around her, but not all the way around her. Horses have two places called blind spots. The first one is right here in front. Because her eyes are on the side of her head, she can't see down here by her nose. She definitely can't see under her chin. The other blind spot is right back here. Now you know that if somebody comes up behind you, you wouldn't know they were there unless they made a lot of noise. Well, it's the same thing with the horse. The horse can see back to about here, the point of her hip, but when you get back here, the horse can't see you at all. And so you need to keep your hand on the horse's rump and never ever stop behind the horse. Even if you have your hand on the horse's rump, do not stand behind it because it could have to back up. There could be a fly. Today's a fly day, so you're going to see Buttercup putting her head down a lot. And you could get hurt. The other thing that you should know is that anytime you walk up to your horse, you should walk up to the horse's shoulder. This way the horse can see you coming and talk to your horse. Say, "Good morning, Buttercup. How are you?" Horses tend to sleep whenever and wherever they can. And if she didn't know that I was here and I walked up to her backside and said, "Hey, Buttercup, how are you?" If she was sleeping, she would probably put her head up and it could get hurt. So we don't walk up to their backside. We walk up to their shoulder and talk to them. And as I showed you before, a lot of people think that you have to walk way far around the horse so that you don't get hurt. Not true. As long as the horse knows where you're at, Buttercup does not want to be in the video today, you keep your hand on the horse, we can walk all the way around the horse. And we're safe on the other side. As I said earlier, the horse can't see underneath. So even though it would be tempting to go under the horse's neck, please don't ever do that. The horse's head, if you don't know this, the horse's head weighs about 100 pounds. You would not want to get hit if the horse put their head down suddenly with that 100-pound bowling ball. The other thing we have to watch for is our feet. Since the horse can't see under their chin or their neck, they definitely cannot see their front feet. So if I get my foot too close to the horse's hoof and she moves suddenly, guess whose foot gets stepped on? Mine. So you can love your horse, you can be close to your horse, keep your hand on the horse, and then your horse will always know where you're at.
So that's how to be safe when a horse is tied and you're moving around the horse. Were there any parts of that video that surprised you? I know for some people, they think that they need to be way far away from the horse when they're walking around it, when actually all you need to do is have your hand on the horse. But if you're safe around the horse when we're grooming it, how about leading it? We always have to lead our horse from the stall to the arena to the barn, for the farrier, for the vet. Leading is a big part of having a horse. So When we lead the horse, we need to know where to stand so we don't get run over by the horse, and also so the horse doesn't drag us and run away with us. There is a right way and a wrong way to lead the horse. So here's how we lead horses.
Before you can lead your horse, you have to know the proper way to hold the lead line. First of all, I like to fold it in half so that both parts are in my left hand. Then I clip it to the ring under the halter and use my right hand. Now if you notice, my right hand is about 4 inches or so away from this ring, away from the clasp. We want our hand to be away from the horse's halter, because if we slide it up like this, and I've seen people slide it all the way up like this, at least my horses feel like they're being suffocated. And then they feel they have a lot of pressure on them and they don't want to listen. So we always lead our horse with the rope about 4 inches from the clasp. Now the next thing you have to know is where to stand. I'm standing at her chin right now, and that really isn't the best place to stand. If I'm here at her head, she could turn her head suddenly right into me. If I'm in front of her like this, she could run into me. Do that, Buttercup, to stand. If I'm way too far, like here by her shoulder, then she could run away, pull the lead line out of my hand, and all I'd end up with is rope burns on my hand. So you really want to stand right here. Let me see if I can turn you a little bit. So I'm standing here. I am between her chin and her shoulder. I'm right here at her neck. This way, I can see her ears. Her ears do communicate to me. I can still hold her head up. She wanted to put it down to see if there's any carrots on the floor. I can hold her head up. I can turn her one way or the other. I can even ask her to back up. So this is the proper way. The other thing is, let me see if I can do this. Over. There we go. Even backing her, I'm right here at her neck. When I lead my horse, I'm going to walk forward, a little pull and say walk on. Walk on, thank you. And when I lead her, I give her a little pull back. My feet stop moving, and I would say, whoa. So when we have to take our horse through a doorway, like a stall door or a gate to the pasture, one of the things we do is teach our horses to stop. She knows this is her stall. She knows she's supposed to go into it, but she's standing here waiting for me to give her direction. That is safety, because that doorway, it could be wide enough for both you and the horse to get through, but again, if she bumps one way or the other, you're going to end up in the wall. You're going to end up on the gate, and I've known too many people getting accidents because the horse bumped them trying to get out into the pasture, trying to get into the stall faster than they were supposed to. So we always teach our horse to stand. Then we walk in the stall and ask them to walk in. Once we are safely in the stall, we don't want to just take the lead line off the horse for 2 reasons. First of all, the horse could twist around. We're here against the wall. The other thing is, if I were going out into the pasture and I took it off, she could run right by me and bump me. So for safety, we ask our horse to turn over, over. And we ask our horse to turn so that we are between the doorway and the horse. And at this point, we can either take the halter off or the lead line off. She wants to turn either way. I can still get out, and she can go back into the corner of her stall, or out in the pasture and close the door, or the gate. I'm safe, and she's where she needs to be.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're letting a horse out into a pasture, a paddock, or a stall. It's still a good idea to turn your horse before taking off the halter or the lead line. I know a lot of people who've gotten hurt because they didn't turn the horse and the horse decided to run. And in running, they either pushed them or kicked them. So be safe, turn your horse, and then let your horse out into the stall, the paddock, the pasture, wherever you're taking them. So that's one way to be safe when you're on the ground with your horse. But what about if you're on the horse? So let's look at saddles again. You know, we spoke about saddles in the saddle fit video. Saddle fit is important for comfort and safety, but we need to look at the saddle to make sure it's safe for us. Here's how.
If I take a closer look at the saddle, right here, there's something called a stirrup bar. The stirrup leathers hang on this bar. On the stirrup bar, at this end, you see a latch. This latch can flip up or stay down. Now, a lot of people say that you should flip it up, and other people say you should leave it in the open position. So we should always leave it in the open position, and mine don't even want to move up anymore.
Why do you think that latch should stay opened?
So the stirrup bar should always be in the open position. And the reason for that is if you fall off your horse and your foot is caught in the stirrup leather will slide off. So never ride with the stirrup bar in the closed position because you don't ever want to risk getting your foot caught in the stirrup.
There are also some stirrups that are safer than others. Now I have several stirrups here. This one is a regular stirrup. It is an iron around and we have a rubber bottom to it, kind of shorter than or smaller than a Western stirrup. This is an English stirrup. So this is the one that comes with most saddles. Now, there's safety stirrups. This one is a safety stirrup. And if you notice, there's a rubber band on this side of the stirrup. There's metal on this side, but it doesn't come all the way around. One of the reasons for this rubber band is so your foot won't get caught in the stirrup. You know, we talk a lot about falling off horses in these videos because that's something that does happen. And with this stirrup, if you fall off, the rubber band snaps off and your foot comes right out. You won't be dragged on the ground by a horse that's running away and you fell off. Now, there's another type of a safety stirrup. If you look at this one, and I'm going to twist it around so maybe you can see the side of it better. Yes, it's metal all the way around, but look at this side. It has a bend to it. And that's so that if your foot's in there and you fall off, notice your foot's going to fall right away from the saddle because this bend here will release your foot and you won't be stuck on that saddle. And finally, you should know what to wear on your feet. Your riding boots should have a small, about a ½ heel and a smooth bottom. You know, the stirrups I showed you had rubber on them. And if you have boots that are rubber on the bottom, that rubber can stick to the rubber and then it'll grip your foot and it won't slide out of the saddle should you fall off. The last thing that we need to think about when we're talking about safety around horses is how to get off a horse fast. At our barn, we teach the emergency dismount to our novice riders who are just learning how to trot. Now, when we teach the emergency dismount, the first thing we do is we practice on a saddle rack with one rack in front of the other to simulate the horse's neck, just like in this picture here. You're going to take both feet out of the stirrups. Now, this is important. If you're going to get off your horse fast, we don't want to get a foot caught in the stirrup. Once you have your feet out, drop your reins and put both hands on the horse's withers or the neck of the horse in front of the saddle and lean forward. Now swing your legs forward and then back so that you can energize yourself because you need to swing off of this horse. So swing your legs forward, back, lean on your hands, and with your legs back, vault off. You swing one leg over the horse as if you were dismounting, but you push away at the same time. And then you're going to land on your feet, bend your legs to absorb the shock of landing, and keep your balance. Always face forward in the same direction your horse is moving. And should you lose balance, roll away from the horse. Once we learn how to do this from a saddle ramp, then we do it from a horse while it's standing still, and then at a walk. You should feel comfortable enough to do an emergency dismount from a walk, trot, canter, and a gallop. So these are some of the ways that you can stay safe on and off your horse. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time here on Hooked on Horses. Be sure to like this episode, subscribe, or like our page, and this way you won't miss any of our Hooked on Horses series. Thanks for watching.